Hi, good evening. Sorry, a bit late, but just had a few things to do. But we are here for the first episode of Unpopular Opinions on KH No Filter Football. Tonight, you'll be hearing our unpopular opinions. We will do another episode tomorrow where we take your unpopular opinions. But as you can see, we've got a very special guest with us today, making his debut on the channel. It's Carefree Lewis. How you doing, Lewis?
I'm good. What's everyone saying?
We're all good. We can't wait for... We haven't actually just told each other what our unpopular opinions are, so we're going to be finding out as well. Kai, the main man, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It was a busy day, but good to be here. Talk a little bit of football, man. Never hurts.
Yeah, Arsenal spoiled the night for me, but there we go. Yeah. Will, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I wish Arsenal went out, but can't get everything we wish for.
And Marshall, how you doing, bro?
Hey guys, sorry I'm a little late, but yeah, we're good. I didn't even know there was an Arsenal game today until like half hour ago. Until it was too late.
Just shows how no one cares about Europa League.
That's true. So let's just go right into it. I think we're going to let our guests start with their Lewis, unless you want time to think about it, or do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll take a bit of time, to be fair.
Okay. Then cool. I think we'll go with the man who said he prepared himself some stats before the stream kicked off.
We'll pick up.
We'll go to Statman Will. Statman Will.
I'm not really a stat man overall, but I just
He's
thought
a stat man.
I'd make it fit my agenda. That's what I do.
Go on then, Will.
So my unpopular opinion is that Marcus Rashford is one of the most overrated wingers in the Premier League, and he's so protected by his fan base. He is very, very overrated and should not be compared to Mane or anyone near that sort of level.
Okay. You got anything to back that?
I hear the Man U fans crying in the distance, and I'm all the way here in America.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they try and call him top and world class. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. His assists way outperform his creative actions per 90. I don't know how he has so many assists, if I'm being honest, looking at some numbers that I've got here. His expected assists per 90 are 0.09, which is in the lowest 28% for wingers in the Premier League. His key passes per 90 are 1.15 in the lowest 43% compared with top wingers in the Premier League. And some people say he's the second best left winger in the league, and he doesn't even get into the top 50%. You've got progressive passes per 90, 2.65, again, lowest 44% for left wingers in the Premier League. Passes into the final third, 0.97 per 90. You've got through balls per 90. Through balls per 90. He's got 0.09 through balls per 90 as well, the lowest 37% in the Premier League. He is not that creative, and I don't know how he has so many assists. I just don't know how. I don't think he's better than. I don't even think he's better than Christian Pulisic. I can't even lie. I think Pulisic is a better player than Rashford. I think I'd rather have Neto than Rashford. I'd rather have Bukayo Saka.
Whoa. Was there?
Let him land.
Was there ever a debate that Pulisic is better than Rashford, man? What was that really a thing?
Wait, do you think Pulisic is better, Kai?
Yeah, Pulisic can actually fucking dribble through players. It doesn't have to fucking chase balls.
His crosses into the opposition penalty area is 0.13 per 90 as well, the lowest 28% in the league.
I have no fucking clue what that means, man, but okay.
Pretty much.
I honestly have no fucking clue what that means.
This shows that creatively he's not very good whatsoever. And he's very overrated.
Okay, look, I'm not a Man U fan, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on this channel.
You wouldn't be on this channel, man. It's different.
But I don't necessarily look. Obviously, it's an unpopular opinion, right? I'm not gonna. I don't really agree with you, Will. I think statistically, the man has output. There's output there. My only issue with Rashford as a player is that and I'm sure Man U fans that aren't deluded can attest to this, is that he probably has the worst decision making when it comes to shots on goal or assists in the league that I've seen from anyone. Maybe like, I don't know, Bamford might be up there with the amount of opportunities that he has missed, but it's if Rashford was much more clinical and much more decisive when it came to giving the through ball pass, the assist pass, or getting a shot even on goal, the kid would be bagging goals. And I understand, like, look, I do see how he is overrated in the sense that people are gassing him up because at his age he's doing what he's doing. It's almost like Man U's version of the Mount agenda. How like we have people who absolutely praise Mason, and then we have people who absolutely hate Mason. I think Man U has the same exact thing. I don't necessarily think that he's overrated, but he's definitely not like world class or anything. He has potential to be really good. So I don't necessarily agree with you.
He's a very, very good goal scorer, but that is about it. Very limited.
Yeah.
And even then, like he has the potential to score a lot more goals than what he has now. The only thing is that he sucks at deciding when to shoot and when to pass. It's terrible.
Yeah, but people really big him up like he's something great because he fucking breastfeed a bunch of kids, but that has nothing to do with his football ability, man. You know what I mean?
This man said he breastfed.
Like, for footballing wise, right? Like a lot of the time he just runs into spaces, and he's basically what Man United wanted Lukaku to be, man. I don't know. I've never rated Rashford as high as United fans, but then again, United fans overrate other players, not all the
As
Rashford.
much as we love him off the pitch, as you said, it has nothing to do with him on the pitch, and that's not going to stop me from criticising him and pointing out his weaknesses. And if I see just United fans compare him to Neymar, it's a joke. It makes me want to stop watching.
Come on.
It makes me want to stop watching football.
To who? Oh my god.
There are people out there that believe Rashford is a better player than Neymar. Because they don't care. They don't care about enjoying football. They just like goals and assists. They don't even look into his stats beyond goals and assists. They just like goals and assists.
Will and Andrew, you guys know how I feel about Neymar, and even I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
And you know how I think it's not really Neymar, but his fans. You know.
My
and I don't
God,
think that as well.
man.
So.
You can't even compare Rashford.
That's absurd.
You can't even compare Rashford to players like Son and Mane and Grealish. You can't even compare him to them. He's not on that level.
Do people actually compare to Pulisic though? Like, do people actually made that comparison that he's better than Pulisic?
Yeah, because what happens with that is they 6 months ago they were all saying Pulisic is better when he hit that good run of form, and then they just changed because of form. Because no one really judges a player off of ability anymore. They judge them off a few good or bad performances. Yeah. And if you do that, you're never going to be able to judge a player fully. You're not going to be able to judge them correctly.
I mean, there is something in it, right? Like, if Pulisic wasn't made out of fucking like gummy bears, man, he just was fucking broken all the fucking time, man. maybe he would be, because I think Pulisic is one of the most like technically gifted players in the Premier League, man. The issue with him, the guy is fucking bone are made of biscuits, man. He breaks every fucking time he moves. Yeah. But for me now, man, you can't say Rashford is more talented than Pulisic. Pulisic can actually fucking dribble, man. All Rashford can do is run, man. He's basically using Bolt, man. That's all he is.
I think you made me laugh, I swear.
Yes, I do, real Christian. We'll discuss that tomorrow.
Yeah, but Mane has been complete. Mane has been completely shit this season. But again, you can't judge performances on how you judge a player all round.
I'm assuming that we're comparing these players when they're on form, right? Like we're comparing like a Rashford on form versus like a Mane on form.
An overall player.
Mane,
on form, they always make the right decisions.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's like you don't take decision making into account, and with Rashford, the big question mark is his decision making.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. Would you take Rashford at Chelsea?
No.
Fuck no, man.
Only for that.
Marshall?
Fuck no, man.
I'm taking for that.
What is he gonna do at Chelsea? Is he gonna sort the balls by color, man? What the fuck is he gonna do at Chelsea?
Marshall, would you take him at Chelsea?
As depth?
No,
because
just because I have,
no.
I really believe that Pulisic will get his shit together and will stay fit. And on his day, he's better than Rashford, in my opinion. Like, that's why I say no. If Pulisic if Pulisic was still made out of glass next season, then I don't know. Maybe we have a different discussion.
Why would we
My glass is even more solid than Pulisic, man.
Why
Pulisic
would
made
we,
out of wet biscuits, man.
Why would we take Rashford when we can go and buy Sancho? I don't understand. Sancho is a better player than
Imagine
Rashford.
if we actually did get Sancho, man. Imagine the United fans' tears, man. Because all through the fucking summer, they were acting like Sancho is gonna be playing for United. They picked a shirt for him. They already picked a locker. Apparently, there's a kid who was doing like internship for the advertising team. Like he released it's going to be like, what was it? Like
The
7th of August or something stupid, or 7th of September. They would all that shit out, man.
Sancho would pick Chelsea over United every day of the week. He would. He would pick us.
Let's stick to the Rashford.
I already have. I have my jar ready for the Man U tears. But no, the question was, would you take Rashford? And no, if
the thing is, I've got more
Pulisic
stats, but I just couldn't write them all down in time. I just wrote these down about 10 minutes ago. So
you're saying Rashford's
15 minutes
overrated?
ago. Yes.
You're saying he's overrated. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I think he's very good. But he's got a chance to get better. I think people are maybe hyping him a bit, and that may be also due to his outside of football work, which is magnificent. We cannot all deny that.
Yeah, but so did Mother Teresa. That doesn't mean
no,
fucking.
I know, but I'm saying that's maybe why they are hyping him up as well, because they incorporate that as well. But I don't know. I don't know. I think I would take him at Chelsea. I would take him as part of the squad, no doubt. I would take him. I would take him now because Pulisic never fit. And if you gave me a choice that what the situation is now, I'd definitely take Rashford.
But then we can just go and get Sancho.
Over Pulisic.
Over Pulisic that's injured. Yeah.
If he's out of the team, okay, I get that.
That's what I mean. The situation is, but we can never trust. I mean, the only thing weaker than Pulisic's knees and hamstrings is Tammy Abraham's heading ability. So
the one thing I just dipped about Marcus Rashford, the more we've been speaking about him, this is what his 7th season at United, 6th, 7th,
maybe.
Fifth full season. Yeah,
6 full seasons in the United first team. Are you still asking these questions?
I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean,
but for all the game time he's had, you'd have expected him to be a better player, surely.
You just expect to be more sure of what you can offer a team as compared to what you can't. But he's been in 6 years now on the first team. His decision making is still dog wank.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to change.
Like, we had Willian for 7 years. His decision making didn't get any better, did it?
You got PETA out the door right now.
I
will say this though. If you asked me, would you take Rashford as your striker?
Did he just score?
He did, I think. Yeah.
I don't care.
The irony.
I don't care.
He heard us talking smack. But I didn't even realize they were playing right now.
Against
can't be yours.
One goal.
Oh no,
it's Twanzebe. It's fine.
I was about to say, one goal doesn't change these stats over the last season. They don't change them.
Savage, Will.
Do you know
though? Why? Everyone in the summer was saying on form Pulisic is better. So why change their opinion just because of a bit of form and injuries?
Yeah. Look, I will say this though: if you offer me Rashford as a striker, I'm taking him over Tammy any day. I'm taking him over Tammy yesterday, man.
I'm not even saying
that's because he's more mobile as well.
I'm not even saying
Tammy's not mobile at all, man.
He's also got a better shot.
Rashford isn't a bad. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm not saying he's bad. It's just he's very overrated, and there's a lot of wingers I'd take over him.
No, I don't agree with this freaking comment right now. Hell no.
Marshall is a very talented player, and on the wing he could actually very well become a good player, a very good player.
Yeah, but all he does is just walk like this, man, the whole game.
Well, why are people comparing?
He never shoots or does anything, man. Like, he doesn't even run, man. I've never seen him run.
I've seen him dive.
I think, Will, you've got pretty much a consensus here.
May I just add?
in the chat.
Can I just add why I wouldn't have? You know, if you look at all of his creative stats, outside of assists, we need creative wingers. We don't need goal scoring wingers. We need creative wingers. So no, I would not take Rashford at Chelsea because he's not creative enough.
Fair. I think that's fair.
All right, let's move from Rashford, man.
All right. Kai, do you want to go next?
I can go next.
Yeah, okay, mate.
I can go next.
Hit us with it, because I don't know. We don't know what it is. So we
I don't know what you're gonna say.
My
disallowed the goal.
Did they?
They disallowed the goal.
United don't deserve anything nice, man.
Oh my god.
Go on, Kai. Hit us with it.
All right. My unpopular opinion is Liverpool is a top 7 team. They're not Premier League champions. They're just like historical Leicester who won the fucking league during the pandemic. But in reality is, in my lifetime, I'm 28 years old, right? And in my lifetime, Liverpool have been, the most they've been is they won the Champions League by fluke. It shouldn't even fucking stand, right? And then again, they won the Premier League once in the fucking 30 years of my, even when I was 2 years old, even they were useless. They're a top 7 team, and I'm tired of this Liverpool fans acting like they fucking had standards. Never you had standards. You had fucking Lallana playing for you before Klopp came in, man, and they're acting like they're a fucking big club. You're building a club, you're building a squad out on a budget, man. All the players you buy, I've never fucking heard of them. You bring them up, telling them about Cup, whatever the fuck is, or Minman Manalo, whatever the fuck his name is, telling me he's like the best thing to come out of Japan or whatever. And he's dog shit. And then you remember when they got Benteke, man? He was dog shit as well. They just buy whatever. You know what? Liverpool are basically a student, man. They're a student. They just go onto Tesco and they buy the cheapest thing and they try to big it like it's a fucking gourmet meal, man.
Do you guys remember
Exactly, that's what they do. They just buy shitty players and then they tell, "Oh, we're the greatest champions ever." Fuck no, you're not. You're just you're champions who are. The only reason you won the fucking Premier League once is because everybody else was shit. That's the only fucking reason. And now when City is good again, you're back to fucking catch up. And you can't even make it to the Champions League because your squad is a fucking budget-ass squad, man. It's not even a fucking good team. Outside of their 11, man. That is one of the worst champion squad I've seen in my life, man. Even Leicester had more depth. And it's a fucking disgrace that they came to the season. They came to the season telling us, "Oh, we're going to retain it." And then when I said, on the terrace, I said, Liverpool will struggle this season to get top 4. And I got death threats, I got hate speech. People were even fucking messaging my girl on my Instagram, making fake accounts just to be on my Instagram so they can go talk shit. And now, when the team is dog shit, all of them, hiding. I'm still looking for Samuel LFC, man. I still can't find the guy. Bro, I wrote him on his phone. He sees my message, but he doesn't respond to them. I'm like, what the hell, man? You said he's going to suck. I said Diaz is going to be world class when he comes in. He was like, "Oh no, Diaz is crap. Gomez is a better center back." Do you realize now, Samuel, if you're watching this, I know you're watching this. Do you realize how stupid your comment is now? You told me Gomez is a better fucking defender than Diaz, man. Have some fucking shame, man. Come out and admit you made a mistake, and I will forgive you. Outside of my evil so-called nature, I'm a forgiving human being, man. I'm not gonna be like, "Hi, I was wrong. I was stupid. I was blind. I was a blind Liverpool fan, and I said something that was wrong.
Yeah.
And now I want to apologize. I'll accept your apology. But don't come to me and tell me, "Oh yeah, we're a great club because you won one Premier League." Yeah, you're a historically great club, man. But as far as a big club, you have a shitty budget. You have a fucking Leicester Wolves level budget, and you're buying Leicester and Wolves level players. Until you can win a Premier League more than once in my fucking lifetime, then I'll take you fucking seriously. That's it. That's all I have to say, man. Historical Leicester, fuck off, man.
Kai forgives you all. Kai forgives you.
Exactly, man.
Kai, I totally agree with what you're saying. I mean, to me, this is just normal Liverpool. They had 3 abnormal years, really. This has always been Liverpool to me. To me, they're no more than a 6th or 7th place team. To me,
that's what they were most of the time.
That's what they have been. They've had the odd title race here and there. 2009, 2014. That's all they've had.
But
otherwise, they've had 3 abnormal years, and they'll go
back to the roots, man.
But they'll go, look at our injury list this year, and I'll say to them,
look at Leicester's.
But you haven't had injuries for 2 years.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You haven't had injuries for 2 years. This is just it was all abnormal. This is all abnormal.
As well? Yeah,
reality is here, my friend. So Leicester Pool Rovers, you are what you are.
Leicester Pool Rovers. Historical Leicester, man. That's all you are. That's all they are. They're historical Leicester. That's all they are, man.
Historical. You're no better than Blackburn Rovers to me.
If you look at their season, where was it 97 points they got when they got second?
Yeah,
that was a failure. They should not be proud of that. They bottled a 10-point lead and had the audacity to say that Klopp is a better manager than Pep. Shame on Liverpool fans. Shame on them.
Definitely don't agree with that. But Kai, let me ask you something.
You know, they will find an excuse. They will say, but City have a better squad. But in the beginning they were arguing against me that they have a better squad than City. Yes, you heard it right. Liverpool fans on the terrace, it's recorded, said that they have a better squad than City, man. Fuck that, man. Deluded.
Let me ask you something, Kai,
man.
though. You don't, Kai. What do you think of Klopp then? Do you rate Klopp?
Do
you think he's as good of a manager?
I love Klopp. I think he's an amazing manager. I think, but the fact is, he went to a club that is poor. The club is poor. They're financially poor. They can't afford big players. The guy who won the centre back, he thought they're gonna get him someone. They got him like Schalke's leftovers that they don't even fucking want. They even wanted to let him go on a free. The guy is one of the worst centre backs I've seen. Like Schalke, the team is in the relegation trying to get rid of the guy. But they want to tell me, he was wanted by Bayern. Shut the fuck up.
I never understood that transfer window. Not gonna lie to you.
Wait, but do people think that I said that Klopp's better than Pep? I didn't say that. I said that Pep is better than Klopp.
Pep is better.
And I think most people agree with you on that. Most rational people.
Who's Ngolo's talking about? Can I just say to any football manager out there, don't go, and you want to a big club, don't go to one owned by Americans. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they run it totally different from Man City and Chelsea, okay?
Yeah.
They run it like NFL teams, and if you win something, that's just a bonus. Okay? They don't understand, all right? They try and run it like if you ask an American owner what a transfer is, they do not know what that is. They just exchange contracts or hand out contracts.
Is that kind of some kind of a draft?
Yeah, it's a draft.
You know what? That's why they try to do all the swap deals, man.
Yep.
With Gunduzi.
Ask an American owner who's not into soccer what relegation means.
Don't call it soccer. Don't call it soccer, man. I hate that word, man.
No whatsoever. Yeah. So, but all right. So Marshall, what do you think about what Kai said? Any disagreements?
I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, I will add on to what he said is that I think Liverpool are frauds because it's not really Liverpool. It's like half Liverpool, half Southampton. Maybe a little sprinkle of Leipzig in there. So like they're not really. It's not like they've had like homegrown talent or anything, right? So I agree. I agree in the sense that like, yeah, they get these. They've been lucky with the shit players they've gotten, right? Like they picked up Van Dijk from Southampton. I'm pretty sure Mane was also from Southampton or Leipzig. I don't remember. Salah came from Olympiacos? Roma.
Yeah.
So like they get these like fray out of fringe players, and okay, they perform, but look at them now. Look at their colors are showing. Mane hasn't scored. Mane, fun fact, is actually doing worse than Werner. Yeah, everyone wants to throw Werner under the bus. Mm-hmm. He's having a worse season than Werner.
Backwards, man. Just like his fucking hairline, man. Just keep getting worse and worse and worse.
I can't agree with you on that statement.
Will, Mr. Stats man, look at the stats.
Goals and assists. Yeah, but like but then that goes against what I said with Rashford. Like you have to judge them off of ability and not this season.
Yeah, and off of ability, okay, Werner's touch is almost like he's like
it's a touch of a rapist.
It's almost like
rapist, man.
Oh my god!
I was gonna say it's like he's
Man.
baptized in the walls
Christ.
pagan or something. You know,
Yeah.
like he can't be bothered with having a good touch anymore. But outside of that, when he doesn't have to when he has to just dribble and stuff, he's all right. He does as much as Mane does for Liverpool, which at the end of the day, it's not getting you that many goals or assists. But I mean, the results for Werner are there. Look at Salah. Salah is literally carrying this team, and don't even get me started about Firmino. Firmino's been dead since the beginning of the season, since the end of last season, since the pandemic came back. Like he scores a fringe goal every now and again, but I think Zuma has more goals than Firmino this season. It's like the team is terrible. The team
Liverpool is just collapsing, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Collapsing.
I mean, I don't know if you want to segue into my opinion from there, Will.
Who would you? Can I just ask
Andrew.
everyone a question? Who
Yes,
would
that
you
man will.
Who would you guys rather have out of Tuchel and Klopp? Who would you rather have?
Right now, Tuchel, because Tuchel is here, and I like him.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
like
put him
Tuchel.
for the world.
Exactly. It's tight,
Yeah.
respect to both, but I've got Tuchel. I've got no reason to want to.
To be
Yeah, I'll
fair,
go
if-
Tuchel.
I think
if
Klopp's
Tuchel-
mentally burnt out professionally. And,
I think Tuchel also fits Chelsea more, because Tuchel for him winning comes first.
And the
For
thing is,
Klopp, it's more about like how you play.
I just wish Tuchel
I just don't
won
like how
that
Klopp
Champions
grinds his
League.
teeth.
If Tuchel won,
Bro, that's one of the first things he achieved in England was getting fucking new teeth, man. That's the thing, though. Like if you remember when he first came in, Jesus Christ, man.
I wish
He
Tuchel
had some caveman teeth.
League. I wish he won that Champions League. The debate would be a lot stronger in Tuchel's favour if he won that Champions League with PSG.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
But if he won the Champions League, he wouldn't be here, man, wouldn't he? We would be still with Lampard screaming,
they were waiting to
I would be completely bald because I ripped up my own fucking hair because we lost 3-0 to Southampton. So now, man, I'm glad Tuchel's here, man.
Tuchel would have been sacked even if they won the UCL. Just maybe it would have taken a bit more time.
all right, so
Yeah, but
let's not go into that's another debate altogether. But yeah, another consensus, I think, unless anyone can think of anything different. And Marshall had a little bit of a thing there, but all right, Marshall, your unpopular opinion. I know if it's the one I know it is. It's sort of linked, but
I know what it's not. He's not gonna say Mount's an average player. I know that's not gonna happen.
That's for another episode.
No Mount. This is a Mount free zone, and David.
No Mount discussion.
David, if you see this,
I saw that this morning.
David got put in a spliff.
I swear, I kid you not. The other day we were talking about Mount, and David just popped. David's like, "Did somebody say Mount?" He just popped in the chat. Man. He's like, "I'm like, no, I'm not sending you the links. You can complain about
Matisse
Mount
and the
for like 3
Grand
hours."
Dam put him in a spliff on a stream earlier. So.
Oh my god, I was
but
there.
this
Oh,
is
I
Mount-
saw that.
Mount free zone.
Oh, I missed that. I need to go
Mount
check
free
that.
I didn't
zone.
watch it.
Mount free zone.
Yeah,
ahead,
for
Marshall.
today at least.
Yeah, for today. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say it anymore, guys. No, I'm kidding. My unpopular opinion is that I believe that defensively, Liverpool were better off without Van Dijk.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh. This might be the first contentious one. Go ahead, explain.
Let me
yourself.
explain.
We'll let you land.
And specifically, I say defensively because offensively, you can't really replace what Van Dijk gives you in corners and set pieces and all that stuff. I get that completely. But let me look at what Liverpool was doing with Van Dijk. So we already knew that they were kind of falling off prior to coming into this season. They started the season very, very poor, to be honest with you. And even though they won, they conceded 3 goals.
Against Leeds, I remember. Yeah.
I was in Atlantic City at a hotel watching this game, and I was in shock because I'm like, I thought this team was supposed to be good, and they almost lost the game to a relegation team that just came up. So, and let's also get it straight. Van Dijk made a lot of mistakes that game.
Yeah, he did.
Then there was the Chelsea game, which we don't want to remember. We were playing rugby when they were playing football. It's whatever. And where were we? Okay. And then they conceded to Arsenal, which in my opinion is just poor. You should be keeping a clean sheet to Arsenal, even back then. And then they lost, and this is with Van Dijk in the lineup. They've had their biggest defeat this season, losing to Villa 7-2.
Good day.
Which that day, I don't know if you guys remember that day. We were watching Man U.
I remember that day.
Getting clapped by Spurs. And Klopp was like, hold my beer, and decided to get clapped even harder by Villa. Mind you, they still had Van Dijk in this lineup. And
that's the loser.
And after that game,
the city I'm in now to Prague, man. They're losing to Prague right now. Let
me change this game.
If you listen closely, that's Leicester getting.
Go on, Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall, go ahead, man. Sorry.
It's okay. I had to gather my thoughts.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. I want to hear the scores too.
It's okay. There's no Liverpool fans on the panel. You can breathe easy. Just breathe easy.
Not yet. But this is the thing. People were complaining for the longest time after that game that there is a problem with Liverpool holding this high line. Who is captaining that high line? It's Van Dijk. So that's one reason, right? Okay, and I'm thinking, all right, maybe it's just Liverpool. They're off form, whatever. The Euros come along, the qualifiers, the nation qualifiers that they just had. I forgot, Nations League, right?
Yeah.
I watched Netherlands, and guess who the captain of Netherlands is? Mr. Virgil van Dijk. And against Bosnia, against Italy, I'm telling you right now, the Netherlands were lucky they did not lose these games, because the same exact thing that happened to Liverpool was happening to the Netherlands with Van Dijk captaining that defense. They were getting exposed at a high line, getting beaten constantly. And if they didn't have, who was their goalie? I can't even remember. Whoever it was, if they didn't have goalie, and if they didn't have Ake too, at Ake's pace, they would have been fucking slapped too. So I'm over here thinking that maybe Van Dijk not being in his team is actually better for Liverpool. And let's get it straight too. After Van Dijk got injured, Liverpool went on to beat Ajax. Liverpool went on to beat Sheffield. Liverpool beat Midtjylland. They beat West Ham. They beat Atalanta. They tied against Man City, beat Leicester. They lost in Champions League against Atalanta in the second half, but they tied Brighton. Ajax again, they beat Wolves. They were doing fine up until December, where they lost to Sunderland, and that's when it started going downhill. And the reason they're going downhill now isn't even so much because of their defense; it's more so because of their lack of offense, which is absolutely terrible. We've seen how Mane has been poor. We've seen how Firmino's been poor, and I get it. And this is also, that's why I'm saying Van Dijk. I'm not saying Joe Gomez. I'm not saying Matip, because if Joe Gomez and Matip were in that lineup, I understand that Henderson and Fabinho would be able to move up, and maybe they'd be doing better. But I'm just saying, man, I really think that maybe Van Dijk not being in that team was probably better for them, because I'm pretty sure they would have lost a lot more games.
I think that is Marshall's take. It's probably the first one where he's already heard some maybe people disagree. Kai, I think you would have probably most had a few exceptions there. What do you think about what you said?
Yeah, I think, Marshall, I love you, but you're wrong, man. You're wrong. You're just wrong.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna get that one.
look at them without him, man. They're losing to Brighton. Who else did they lose? Who did they lose to? Did they lose to Sheffield?
Burnley at home.
Liverpool. They've lost their last 4 or 5 games.
Are you listening, Marshall? That's without Van Dijk. Are you listening?
I would argue that's without Joe Gomez and Matip.
But they're even more. It's like shit and shittier. Van Dijk is the only good defender they have. Those two are just dickheads. That's how they are, man. I never rated any of them, man. They're both shit.
Van Dijk's ball playing ability is very underrated as well.
He's very good.
And also, look at how they lost. They didn't even score a goal. I think that game, right?
Thank you for the 50 likes.
Thank you guys for 50 likes. That's great. And also, if you aren't subscribed, subscribe. And if you don't want to miss another live stream, call-ins and all that stuff, make sure you have that bell notification on so that you guys can catch the next one. But yeah, they couldn't even score against Brighton. Their offense has been poor. It's not look, if their defense was in shambles, you would have had Mopé scoring 2-3 goals on them, like that's why I think they've been keeping close games, but their offense hasn't stepped up. So their defense isn't even that bad.
Marshall. They have 40 points. You know what 40 points gets you in the Premier League? They get you to avoid relegation, man, and they're the champions. And we're like 12 games away from the end of the season? No. I'm not accepting that, man. I'm not accepting that. I'm sorry, man. Their defense was shit. Was at least, with Van Dijk it was shit, but now it's just fucking diarrhea, man.
Look who Van Dijk.
I'm seeing the chat right now going crazy. This is why we have this show. It's called Unpopular Opinions for a reason.
With Van Dijk, level, man. If you see who he plays alongside though, Trent, very, very good going forward. Normally this season he's been a bit off it, but still a very, very good player going forward. Defensively, he's always been suspect. And you got Joe Gomez, one of the most overrated centre backs in the Premier League.
I can't. No, he's so shit.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's that great. Man.
I feel bad.
He's better than Diaz. In the shamelessly, the Liverpool fans at the beginning of the season, I actually know Diaz because I like Diaz for a while, right? So I said, this guy, he's gonna come in and he's gonna be amazing for City. So he's not even better than Matip, let alone Gomez. And I'm like, you fucking idiot, man. You're as that fucking chicken on your badge, man. That's how fucking bad this Liverpool fans are, man.
And look, I'm not going to convince you guys at all. You guys are, I'm very sure you guys rate Van Dijk. I just personally, I don't. But
you don't rate Van Dijk. I would love him at Chelsea, man.
But I'll say that, like, up until December, where the injuries started getting worse and they had to force their midfielders to drop in defense, they were doing fine without Van Dijk.
They were top on January the 1st. They were top January the 1st.
To be Van Dijk.
You see my points, though, right? They're not entirely deluded or wrong. Like, there's something there.
That's pretty deluded, man. That's pretty deluded.
Deluded Opinions is another show coming. That's coming next.
Van Dijk.
We're not.
Van Dijk is easily top 3 centre backs in the world. Easily.
Yeah, I agree. I love Van Dijk, man. He's a fucking good defender, man. And we could have got him, man, but we decided to go to Rudiger because he was the value deal, man.
Certain guys, but yeah.
Come on, man.
No, go Lewis. Go on. Let's see I think you might have disagreement with what Marshall was saying, but any agreement to what he's saying at all? Anything that he said?
I have to rate Van Dijk.
Van Dijk's class, man. I can't, I was fuming when we missed out on him. Even though 55 million was, I thought at the time, was a little bit much. I mean, he's justified it and more since then. We missed out on so many good transfer opportunities that season. It's jarring, but Van Dijk's quality, and you can see why Liverpool missed him. Their defense was an absolute mess until Van Dijk joined. He leaves, and now their defense is an entire mess again. Fair play. Another reason why is because they don't have any fit centre backs at this point. I think even Henderson's a doubt for their next games. He was a makeshift centre back, so you got to take that into consideration as well. But no Van Dijk in the team, Liverpool start dropping points. Speak to itself.
That season that we wanted Van Dijk, we wanted Cancelo, Sandro, Lukaku. There were so many.
Conte wanted ballers, man, and we gave him frauds instead.
David Zappacosta. Let's just say that again.
Dead cross against Karabag and everybody got gas. Even any Premier League goalkeeper catches that. Every goalkeeper catches that.
Yeah, I can't believe Zappacosta, man. Zappacosta just looks like a tall plumber, man. Can't stand it.
A great song.
You wait for him, man.
A great song for the player, but Bakayoko, no.
When you look at
man. Our depth in 17-18 was atrocious. Bakayoko, Drinkwater, Fabregas past his legs, Victor Moses,
you notice
Batshuayi, Morata.
You notice we do that after every winning team. We did that to Mourinho as well. Remember Mourinho after he won the league?
Yeah, 15-16.
Every time
we win the league, we go.
Mourinho wanted.
No, it's because our worst windows are every single time we win the Premier
post
League.
titles,
Remember 2010? Our window was shit in 2010 as well. Who did we sign? Who did we sign actually? Who?
Yossi Benayoun.
Hey. Calm down with this Israelis, man. Calm down with this. I hate Israelis, man.
We signed David Luiz and Torres in the January
the
window.
guy who when Arsenal beat us 5-3 at the Bridge was celebrating about on Twitter. I can't be asked.
Do you remember when?
Hang on, Will. Sorry, Will. I've just got to address this comment. I hope you're joking, Santana, or you've missed the absolute point of what we're talking about. But I hope it's a joke. But if it is, it's very funny.
Yeah. How is that unpopular opinion though? Like pretty much, if you grab any Chelsea fan, they would be like,
"With." Do you remember?
If you say that to any Chelsea fan, they're like, "Oh, you guys are taking donation to get that like any Chelsea fan would donate for it." And I think like both of them are like the least liked players at Chelsea, man.
Do you remember when after he won the league in 14-15, didn't Mourinho want Charles Aranguiz, and he also wanted Arda Turan, which didn't get any of them. Didn't get any.
To be fair, the way Arda Turan's career was going, good thing we didn't fucking go for him, man.
To be fair, that was before he went downhill. He was pretty good at Atletico first time round. Then he went to Barcelona.
I think, well done, Marshall. Actually, he did pick an unpopular opinion among us. So you did a good job.
I'll admit I have a bias. I just don't like Van Dijk. He's a good player. At the end of the day, I just don't. I don't think he benefited Liverpool as much this season as people think he did.
Okay.
I think Liverpool fans made you hate him, man. That's why. Liverpool fans, yeah.
I think he's a bully. Which I mean, it's fine as a center back, you know.
Lewis, have you got your unpopular opinion?
My unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it, but I can't really come up with too much. So I'm just going to sit here with the opinion that I've had for months, and that's the Danish Maldini himself. Like way too much.
Oh my God,
He
man.
only made one mistake this season. He gets criticised like he's prime Alvaro Morata, and I have no understanding for it. He's a quality centre-back. Technically, probably our second best centre back that we have in the team.
He is technically our second best. He's not even probably. He is.
And I see Jem's already here in the comment section with his crosses clown. I can't be asked. It's Saturday 9 p.m. I should be free, to be honest. I'll let you know on that as well. But yeah, that's my unpopular opinion. Big up and respect the Danish Maldini. We've already locked up two prime players in the AC penitentiary, João Felix and Luis Suarez. And next game is going to be Marhsal, Greenwood, and Rashford. There's plenty of room for everyone in the AC penitentiary. We out here. Come on, come on.
What do you think? Can I ask you a question? Louis? What do you think about Terry comments?
What?
The comments John Terry made about the mistake that he made.
John Terry was wrong.
Yeah.
John Terry was wrong, and to be honest, he just shouldn't have said anything because he put Andreas Christensen.
I think he was just blindly back in Lampard, I think, yeah. That's what all he did.
He should have got up. He was injured. He aggravated his injury by playing for the next 30 minutes on that injury, and if he got up immediately afterwards, he probably would have aggravated it more. But John Terry, because he's thinking passion merchant days, he's thinking, yeah, you know what? He should have got up and played through it. Because fair play to JT, he got up and played through everything. This is a different game now. This isn't the same game that it was 15 years ago. So he should have got up BS. It don't work like that.
Do you remember when against was it Barnsley where he was exceptional and then he got kicked in the head and had to come off and people were still like
people were still like AC agenda. Look, this weak guy's had to jump off yet again. It's so jarring, man. If anything, I don't say he's weak. At the most, maybe you can catch him off balance every now and then.
His aerial duels have been really good this year.
His aerial duels have always been great. Even in 17-18, he clock up like 70-80% aerial duels won every single match. All everyone remembers is one pass against Barcelona, and that's it. But in reality, the 4 months before then, he was one of our best centre-backs. One of the best centre-backs in the league. But no one speaks about it. It's just moments. It's all moments. And that's why our centre-backs always either get so much shit or they get let off. Because it's what moments did you work or what moments didn't go in your favour. Kurt Zuma, for an example. He's had an amazing season this season. Even if he hasn't played too much under Tuchel. But fact is, If Lo Celso had better decision making in the final third, there'd be a lot more questions about Kurt Zouma, and that's just facts. There's moments. But Andreas Christensen had that moment against Liverpool, and that's all everyone remembers.
When you look at Christensen, he's always had talent. And people that doubt his talent is just it's delusional. With Christensen, I've always thought he has potential to be a great defender, but there's been a period in 17-18 I thought it was great. 18-19 didn't really play as much, so I think he went a bit under the radar. Then you've got last season where he was next to Rudiger and Zuma. So, he's better in a 3 anyway. You want to play to his strengths. And even then, I guess he wasn't as bad looking back on it when you look at who he's had to be partnered next to. And then
I don't even think he's that bad in a 2. Like, he's definitely had his bad games in there. Like, I'm not going to say he's bad.
I think we haven't tried him in a 2 with Thiago Silva, man. Once we do that, it's going to be a different ball game,
Didn't we do that for Southampton, though?
What?
It wasn't Christensen in a 2 when we were playing Southampton, the 3-3?
Yeah, you mean the 3-3?
Yeah, but to be honest, I don't hold him accountable for it as long.
That was Kepa and Zuma.
Because I remember coming on Monster Stream that day, and I just got eaten alive because I was defending Christensen when it was Kai Havertz who made the terrible mistake to get dispossessed and stuff. That led to the rising of that.
They blamed an entire passage of play against Aston Villa that he was injured on him, even though there was a handball before that and about 3 other players who could have done better, and that goal wouldn't have happened.
Our family just have agendas, man. There's 3 players at Chelsea that get agendas, right?
I can't.
Jorginho. Sorry, go on. Right, we have Jorginho, Christensen, and Mount. Those 3 have a bunch of people who have agendas against them, man. If they have a good game, if you have a really good game, it will consider, they had an okay game. If they have a bad game, you won't hear the end of it. Those 3, man.
With Christensen, I can't even lie.
The Liverpool game, to be honest, didn't he clear a chance off the line in the first half?
I don't remember.
Nobody remembers it because all they remember is the moment. It's the agenda every time.
You could also use this for certain players in the Premier League that have had good moments as well, and they don't remember bad performances as well. It can work both ways. With Christensen, though,
some of you guys' comments, man.
in the Aston Villa game, I actually was quite reactionary on social media. I was pissed off.
So, Will, Felix, I don't know how do you determine someone looks like
obviously, I've never seen a fucking pussy, man. If you think Christensen looks like a pussy.
Go on, Will. Sorry, mate. Go on, Will.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, during the Aston Villa game, I didn't know that he was injured, and I didn't even know he got fouled to start with. So during that game, I said,
Rodriguez, right?
I said,
I get that as well because you look at it with the naked eye, and like it just looks like a 50-50. Like you don't think anything of it. I didn't know how serious it was until I heard he was out for the next few games because of it.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, so he was injured, and everyone.
I did apologise for saying what I said after I realised he was injured.
I don't even blame most of the people for doing it. It's just the news came out, and then people still didn't care. They just still hopped on.
It's because of Terry, man. Because Terry said that comment, everybody, just like went crazy about,
Exactly. I'm like, that same energy. If you're just gonna follow what John Terry says blindly because he's our captain, leader, legend, and one of the greatest legends that we've ever had, I hope to God you want Lampard out as well because your logic don't make sense then.
But also, why
he's the greatest legend we've ever had?
Yeah. But also, why didn't people? We had a new manager coming in, so why didn't everyone just have the same mindset and go, new manager, every player's got a clean slate now? Because look who he's brought back. He's brought back Alonso, Christensen, Jorginho, Giroud. He's played Kepa a couple of times.
Jorginho was.
Bro, this guy rates Daniel. This Daniel guy, he rates Mount, who basically looks like a kid who gets bullied in fucking high school, and he called Maldini a pansexual, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. This is why I call you bad vibes, man.
With Christensen, I was very happy that he stepped up because there's certain games which I look at Christensen, I was like, "What? Please play like this every game." Because when he's at the top of his game, he's better than Zuma and he's better than Rudiger. He just needs to keep up this form and be a bit more consistent. and I'm sure he'll eventually. I wish.
If anything, I don't think it's consistency. I think it's more confidence. Like Andreas Christensen is a full confidence player. I can stand there and admit that. Yeah. And Sarri butchered his confidence, and he just struggled to recover since then. But I think Tuchel can work on that. Yeah. And if he just continues to work on his confidence, I think there's a great player there. It's just one. If he has one big howler in a match, then I wouldn't play him the next match because that'll just be on his head and he'll have another.
It's also though who he plays against, and that's why he had such a good game, Tuesday, because Atletico Madrid aren't physical enough, and I think he does need to bulk up a bit or do something. But him and Rudy.
Wait, can I address this one? I sat through. I was watching Monster Stream, and I heard Daniel say we need to sell Werner instead of Abraham. I'm not taking anyone seriously.
Yeah, Daniel, come on, Daniel. Daniel.
Unless you retract that statement, I'm not taking anything you say seriously. And no one.
Can I?
But seriously, man, you can't.
Can I ask you guys a question though? And yeah. Okay, so Thiago Silva is clearly our best defender. Do you guys really think that Christensen comes in second over Rudiger? Because I don't agree. I personally think Rudiger is the better defender, and he's played more games. He has more experience. He did the own goal thing, but that kind of balances out with the Christensen rugby tackle. Like, I don't know. I feel like Rudiger is our second best defender, and then maybe we can talk about Christensen in the third place. But
I think Christensen's way better than Rudiger, and Rudiger's had a good run of games as well. I'll give him his credit where it's due. But I think Christensen's better technically. And if you're going to ask me which one's more likely to make a mistake, I'm going to say it's Rudiger.
Technically, it's not even a debate, in my opinion.
But even with the passing game that we praise Christensen so much about, I've been more impressed with the long balls that Rudiger did in the first few games under Tuchel than Christensen in this whole time.
Rudiger's long passes are great and everything, but I also just think, if I want long passes, I can still just put Kurt Zouma in there, to be honest. But we know why Kurt Zouma isn't making the lineup, and I understand that.
Can you rank our defenders? Can you rank our defenders from first to last?
For me,
let's go. Yeah, let's go with you first.
Silva. On preference, it's Zouma or Christensen. Which is on preference. If you prefer physicality,
like honestly, what do you think? Like as a better player?
Okay. Silva, Christensen, Zouma, Rudiger. That's how I see it.
Okay, that's interesting. What about you, Marsh?
No, I'm just kidding. Silva, Rudiger, Christensen, Zouma.
Okay, that's all right. Will?
Silva at the top. Then you've got a few levels you got to go down. Then you've got Christensen. You've got probably Christensen. Oh, but it's difficult.
Just rank him. No, a few levels.
Overall, not on form. Overall.
No, just like who you think is like the best thing for Chelsea.
I think if I'm gonna have someone on the bench next year as backup, because I hope we sign a new centre back, probably Christensen, Rudiger, Zouma.
Will I
post it again, Jim? Post it again.
If you were a girl, I'd want you to go eat, man. Jesus fuck, we're never eating, man. We're gonna go 3 days. Just choose what you choose it, man. Just choose.
I can't be asked.
Okay,
rank them, man. We'll rank them.
This is Jim's ranking.
It's because Jem doesn't rate technically gifted defenders. He just.
The only thing I'll give Rudiger over Christensen is that he's faster than him. Other than that, like even in the air, like Rudiger ain't all that. Like granted, he scored goals off headers, and I know Christensen's yet to have a goal from us. But in terms of aerial duels won, compared to Christensen, he really ain't all that. Technically, he ain't there. Like he's taller than him, I guess, but he's still not winning those duels. 1v1s, I back Christensen. Positionally, I back Christensen. Composure, I back Christensen. I just don't see where Rudiger fits in. And if I want heading, then I want Kurt Zouma instead. Yeah. Because Kurt Zouma will win them all.
I'm the same as Alexis, like exactly. Silva, I would say Christensen at the moment, Zuma and Rudiger. That would be my. Well, what about you, man? Just yeah, same way.
I've already said mine, haven't I? I already said
No,
mine.
you haven't. You haven't. That's why I'm asking you, man.
I thought I did. Oh, Silva, Christensen, Rudiger, Zuma.
Okay, and Andrew.
Oh yeah. Well.
Silva. ... Then it has to be Christensen now on form. It has to be Christensen, then Rudiger, then Zuma.
Okay, all right.
So
fair
3
enough.
out of the 5 of us put Zuma in last.
Let me just,
I'm not a big fan of Zuma, to be honest.
let me just post Jim's question. Let me just post his question.
Yeah, can I ask as well? Who's to say even Thiago Silva comes back into the lineup for United? Like, why do we need to bring him back? Save him for Liverpool.
Got a fair point.
I was saying
Got a
that.
fair point. Yeah.
Like the back
After
three's
that,
done nothing to be changed.
Have you seen United in the air as well? They're always conceding off of set pieces.
United are messed everywhere in the fucking pitch.
Wait, quick question too. I just realized, are we counting Aspie as a center back too?
No,
Since he's playing 3 in the
No,
back?
no,
All right.
no.
Because that changes everything, you know?
I'm trying. When I'm ranking the defenders, I'm not doing it on form, because if you're going,
Yeah, that's what I said. Also, I said that's not on form, just
me
based on
neither.
it.
Me neither.
If you're gonna do it on form, then you probably have to have. You can't have Zuma last just because at the start of the season I thought Zuma was decent, but overall, yeah, I think Zuma's gonna get sold this summer. I think he will.
I can see it.
Because I think Tuchel prefers Rudiger over him, and I think the club will rather sell Zuma than Christensen.
Yeah, but I think we still should go for like an elite centre back.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Christensen would be a good backup.
We are joined by the main man, Alexis. How you guys doing?
Yes,
how you doing, Alexis? You good?
Not too bad, Bratuhi. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm alive and kicking, man. Still haven't hung
Well,
from
we're
somewhere,
playing
man. So I'm
Liverpool
good.
4 days afterwards. And also, Thiago Silva isn't fully sharp yet. So, yeah, I'm not throwing him into Manchester United immediately at 36 years of age.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yes, Lewis. That's you got to tell Jem. Jem has a agenda.
Jem knows it's love, but his Christensen agenda stinks. It's really stinky.
All right, Alexis.
He's making up rankings. He said he's not centre back.
That's the one he wants to play.
Alex,
did you
want to go next?
Build up Christensen.
Your unpopular opinion.
So
we can discuss it.
Ooh. Unpopular.
Have we put you on the spot?
Restaurant, overrated restaurant, none of that, man.
Do you need more time? We put you on the spot.
Yeah, give me 20 seconds to think of one.
Then you go first then. Well,
Who, me?
First. I mean, sorry, Andrew.
I don't know if it is unpopular. It's just it's a thing I've got. It might not even be this person. It might just be his fanboys. But to me, Bielsa is not a great coach. I don't rate Bielsa as a coach whatsoever.
Okay.
My reason for this is that he likes to play. For me, and I'm fairly open-minded. I'll be educated, fine. I might be ignorant to this, but when looking at his Leeds team, they seem to only play one way, and he doesn't seem to be tactically. He won't be. He will only play one way, and it's his way or the highway. So look at their results. Look at their goals for. Look at their goals against. They'll go from one day spanking Southampton 3-0 to losing to United 6-2 to losing to Crystal Palace 4-1. But what I'm really annoyed about is actually his fanboys build him up to be one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's not up there with winning much, and I think what really tipped me over wasn't he voted? Wasn't he?
Yeah, and
one of the top 3 coaches of last year? And I was thinking to myself, I don't know what you're smoking over there, but I want some because you are obviously it's something that makes you delusional. But for me, I can't have Bielsa. If I see Bielsa on the list for coaches of the year this year, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then again, I feel more shame if we lose the Leeds as well. Because if you can get outdone tactically by Ollie, Frank and Arteta in the same season, then I think there's
look
a
at the
massive
squad they
question
have
mark
compared
against
to him,
him.
though,
Wait,
Andrew.
Andrew,
Look at the players they have compared to him, though.
I know, but it's not maybe okay, but it's just the way that he doesn't seem tactically flexible in that game to change.
To be
But why
fair,
doesn't he?
wait,
You know, it goes 4-0 down to Arsenal. I know they came back,
True.
but I believe Arsenal may have just
True,
taken their
Andrew,
foot off the gas.
You've
But
got to.
go ahead,
I
mate.
agree with you. I agree and disagree with you at the same time. As in, should he
Jesus
have been?
Christ.
Should he have been
Politician, man. You should be a politician, man.
Who?
Hey, Will, I hope your girlfriend doesn't hear this because she's going to get her own way every time with you, mate.
Should
Jeez, man. It's like, she's always gonna win arguments, man. You'd make the perfect boyfriend, man. You'd always lose arguments against your girl, man. She'll be happy.
Bielsa should not have been in the top 3 coaches when Tuchel won a treble last year and he won the championship. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, they do get a little bit overrated when they lose games when they still get
Wait,
credited.
you mean Hansi Flick, right?
Tuchel won a treble
you said
with PSG last year. If you
yeah. Okay,
yeah.
I thought you meant Flick. Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I mean, Flick obviously deserved. Wait, did Flick win it last year? Was it Klopp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did.
What I mean is, Tuchel didn't even get nominated. That's why I said his achievements last year. Anyway, with Bielsa, I get where you come from, as in with he's not really tactically flexible. But if you look at a lot of other managers, they're very stubborn with the way they play as well. And if you compare the squad that they've got, I can sort of see why they're credited for how far he's got them up the table playing that style of football. But I agree in the sense of when they lose, they should not be credited for losing. I agree with you with that. But
yeah, that was it. They got smashed 6-2 by Leicester, but some pundits were saying Manchester United. Sorry, but I saw some pundits. I don't rate these pundits, but I heard them. Oh well, they played really well. You got smashed 6-2.
I rate him as a coach overall, but I agree. I agree with you.
Let me just say this, right?
Educate me, Kai. Come on.
I'm gonna educate you. A lot of people are gonna be offended by this, but I don't.
No filter.
As usual, man. Yeah. So anyway, Bielsa is basically he's basically the Greta Thunberg of football, man. That's what he is. That's what he is, man.
I've got to see where this is going. Come on.
The same way that girl won Nobel Prize for doing nothing. That's the fucking same thing, man. He won like the number 3 coach of the year just because he has a nice little sad story, man. That's just all it is. And I'm not like, I like him as a coach. I like his football. I think his football is very nice to watch. But at the same time, like I remember that look at the squad he has compared to those other teams, right? Like that squad is a fucking joke, man. It's a squad on a budget, man. Let's be honest, man. So you can't really expect him to destroy those teams.
No, like, I'm not expecting him.
I would actually say if Bielsa had that Chelsea squad, he would get more of it than Lampard has. I can argue it.
I agree with that, but with everyone calls him out for being for sticking to his ways and being stubborn. I don't rate it, but I sort of respect him for doing it. If you get what I mean, I respect that he wants to believe in his ideas and his way of playing football, but I don't rate it, and I won't credit him as such because if he's losing, if you get what I mean.
There's a simple way of putting this.
Yeah.
If he was a defensive manager that got promoted and parked the bus, and he was getting smashed 6-0, would anyone say be more expensive? The only reason this is an issue is because he's playing attacking football. They're overperforming. I think people are just blown out of proportion.
Yeah, that's why I said that. That's why I say I don't think it's him.
But no, it is him.
Okay, fine.
That squad is bums.
It's part. It is him, and
looking like
it is him, and it is. Yeah. Do you know what? You're fucking right. Yeah, it is him. All right. Yeah, it is him.
You just like the constant squats, man. That's what I like
as well. You know what? Yeah, fuck you, Bielsa. It's you. Yeah, but that was it. Yeah.
I have never seen the man stand, man. I swear, man. I've only seen him squat and sit. That's it.
He's always looking like he's shitting on the pitch.
A little crazy.
I was just about to say he walks like he shat himself.
What's the ironic thing?
He's amazing quads, man. That's the guy must have like 2 nice legs, man.
But Kai's got better squads and hamstrings than Pulisic.
I know.
That was a low blow, Andrew. That was a low blow.
So what?
Low blows that we do, man. That's what
it's
we
unfiltered,
do.
I've got an unpopular opinion.
Go ahead, my friend.
Go, man.
Wait, hold on. Hold on to that just for a second because I have to defend Bielsa a little bit.
You son of a bitch.
I think, and this is where being South American pays off.
Here we go.
You gotta give Bielsa some respect, just because he took an irrelevant team, national team of Chile, and took them to the World Cup, and not even just took them to the World Cup, actually advanced them past their group into their what I'm pretty sure is their best World Cup run in history. And then
explain.
And then he goes on to Leeds eventually. I don't know what team he went through exactly after Chile, but he went to Leeds that was a dead team. And mind you, they did get an injection of money because of the new guy, the guy who ended up buying Leeds. And he could have gone with any manager and maybe they could have succeeded, but maybe not. But he then went on to Leeds and made them relevant again. And I get this. I get this argument that he isn't flexible or versatile with his tactics, and that he doesn't like to change it at all, and he's very stubborn when it comes to that way. But and again, there's also credentials, obviously, but Mourinho's the same exact way, and we rate the guy. And obviously, there's a difference because Mourinho's gone on and won championships. He's won leagues. He's won all types of titles. But Bielsa, and we said about this.
We're Chelsea fans. For us, he's a different guy, man.
Sarri's very stubborn as well, but he's still a fantastic manager.
So I don't think because he's stubborn it makes him a terrible manager. And yeah, I get it. Like I personally agree with you guys. If your team is losing constantly and you're conceding, you're more open than a fucking prostitute in Amsterdam when it comes to defense. Then like I get it. You should be changing your tactics. But that's just not who Bielsa is, and it's working for them. And I think, and you also got to take into mind how he trains these players. They call it murder ball because their practices are more harder than the freaking games, and I respect that. So I don't necessarily agree with you, Andrew, but I see where you're coming from, man.
Oh, right, fine. Yeah, fine. All right, Alexis, man, you've got an unpopular opinion?
I think Christian Pulisic has been a terrible signing.
Oh,
as of yet.
Ooh.
Realistically speaking, the money we spent. The money we've spent.
I just ordered a Pulisic shirt, man, and you're just telling me the shit now.
I understand.
Yeah, the money we've spent.
I get it.
He came in the first 4 months quiet. I gave him time, no problem. Then he got injured, which is understandable. Can't control it. But there's only so many injuries you can have until I start going, wait, was the money well spent?
Alexis, I know you can't see, but there's a tear going down my eye right now.
That's fine. No, but literally, I think if we could sell him and recoup our money this summer, I would do it because I don't trust his ankles and I don't trust his hamstring.
Are you?
Like, you better watch your Twitter DMs for Will. He's about to call you an H word, the hypocrite.
Yeah.
Stop that. That's a thing of the past.
You just subscribed to the newsletter, man. That's what you did.
Wait, can I see something real quick? Can you take off the comment and see what Will's name is? Oh, it's not. Yesterday he had his Pulisic Defense League.
He changed it, man.
Lewis, what did you say?
Yeah, I was saying, like, what is it? 20 different muscular injuries that he's already had in his career.
Yeah.
Like, I understand what you're saying. Like, if Dortmund wanted him back as part of the Haaland deal, like, all love to Christian Pulisic, but here's what it is.
But I have a suggestion, Alexis. I have a suggestion, right? Go on. Would you be down for us just like downing, like demoting his role at the team, rather than us relying on him? If we just get Sancho, for example, and then he goes to that like backup or rotation to Sancho, would you be okay with that, or you just want to sell him?
Okay with it? Like as a club, I'd take it because he's still very marketable. And I think financially it would suit us to keep Pulisic as well.
Marshall's buying his shirt every year
to escape Jadon Sancho, and Jadon Sancho, he's meant to just take it. Like,
I
wouldn't
be against
close.
signing,
I'm not gonna lie.
I would not be against signing Sancho, and if Sancho performs, and Pulisic has to be that rotational player, that's fine because he'll be a very, very, very good backup. I wouldn't sell him though. I think it's too early to sell him.
But
no, I kind of agree with Lewis though, with the idea of like if we have to get rid of Pulisic for a Sancho Holland deal, then I
wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't, because I love Sancho and I love Holland, man. I love both of them, man.
Yeah,
like,
but the thing is,
right?
Ziyech than Pulisic. No, but you see, people are saying demote him. I think he always has been bench quality, in the sense that he only plays 15 minutes in a game. He disappears in games on a regular basis. Maybe that is age, and maybe he'll grow into his role. But for now, I think he needs to be an impact sub.
Alexis, are you saying this based off of the quality of his potential and the player, or are you saying this based off of his injuries?
I'm saying this from the first day we signed him. I thought it was not the right signing at that time to replace Hazard, because the club knew Hazard was going, I think. And when they signed him, they had him in mind. And the talent's there. It's just not on a regular basis. And people will say, he's outscoring Hazard. But when Hazard came in, Hazard's performances were next level.
Yeah.
And we spent 60 million. We paid 60 million for this guy. Like,
with Pulisic, I have a debate about it pretty much every day, and I just can't be bothered anymore. I can't be bothered. If there's a Pulisic debate, I'm just going to let everyone else.
Let me cut you then, Will. So I think it's scary that it took a global pandemic to show us how good Pulisic is in the Chelsea shirt. So it took until July when we came back out of lockdown to really see what he was.
No, but to be fair, he was injured.
Yeah, it's the NBA playoffs. They were on, and for him, he only plays during that period.
Super Bowl. He had to miss January because of the Super Bowl. Then But I agree. I would try and add him into a Sancho deal.
I wouldn't mind Sancho.
I'm just going to be quietly confident that he's going to come good and be a top player.
I think he is a top player. I think he has the amazing potential, but the problem is he's made out of wet biscuits, man. The guy breaks every fucking time he moves.
Yeah, told you. The only thing softer is Tammy Abraham's heading. That's the only thing softer at Chelsea.
Literally, and it's the shitty digestive biscuits. He's not even like the good ones.
It's rich tea. It's the rich tea.
The ones you stick in the tea and melt.
It's rich tea.
It's the upper brand Russian biscuits, man. You know, the one that you dip in the cup, and as soon as any liquid, they just melt. That's it.
You're asking. I'm outnumbered here, Johnny.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Let's ask the panel. Lewis, one word. Sell him this summer for 60 million. Yes or no? Bid coming in.
60 million.
I would
this summer.
I can't sell him. Man.
How old is he?
22.
22.
I wouldn't.
Lewis is making the same exact face I made.
Oh no, it's so final. And
man. He just started growing a beard as well, man. Come on, no, man. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. When he grew that beard, I was like, yeah, you know what? He's joined the gang now. I love him. And then I saw him play and get injured. I was like, for God's sake, this guy.
It depends on the addition, but
yeah.
I still think the jury's out on Pulisic yet, so I'd say no.
Yeah.
Just if it was a bit more, or if it was involving the Haaland deal, it is what it is. But 60 million, a bit more.
Yeah. I think if the Haaland deal, they can take anyone they want from our squad if they wanted. For Haaland, there literally isn't anyone in the squad that I'd say, you know what, he's off the table. Maybe Havertz, but even then.
Okay, thank you.
I think if he doesn't play some part of the rest of the season, then yes. But then again, he always gets injured in training, man. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing, but didn't he get injured this season warming up?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got injured warming up. Right?
Marshall, what about you, man? Would you?
Look, I know people are going to say, oh, the American, he should be watching Tom Brady and all that stuff, and the bias, and like, look. look.
Here comes the heel turn.
I give him I say no to what Alexis' question is for this summer. But if he doesn't improve under Tuchel by the end of next season, or even by January, let's say, depending on how bad it goes, I say, yeah, well, he's got to move on.
That will be a loan to Vitesse if that happens. I guarantee you.
A loan of no return, man.
Yeah.
Abraham got 80 million for Haaland. Would they even take that?
Absolutely not. They would not take that. with Pulisic, there is probably 2 players I'd straight swap him for in like as a winger option. Well, maybe more than 2. There is Neymar, obviously. There's Son. I'd take over him. Mane. I'd take Grealish over him as well. That is about
How did you go from 2 to listing 3 players?
I said maybe. I thought of 2, and then I thought, well, actually, if you look at players left wing as well, wide, who would I take over him? But unless
would you take Saka over him?
Nah, fuck Saka, man.
No, I wouldn't.
I'd take Saka. I would take Saka.
Hey, what?
I would not take Saka. I would not sell Pulisic unless we got one of the few options I said.
You know what Pulisic has to be? Pulisic has to prove his reliability, and he hasn't done
Pulisic is going to be a top talent. I'm just going to be quietly confident and wait.
When they do the first ever double hamstring bionic transplant or something, when's
no.
You're going to build him Iron Man's legs or something.
You know what?
Saka's difficult because I really, really, really rate Saka. It's difficult. I think him and Neto are going to be 2 fantastic players. So,
would you take Rashford?
No, absolutely not. No. I would rather have Saka and Neto over Rashford all day long.
I don't know about Saka, but
yeah. I mean, for me, I like even though he's as reliable as Michael Jackson was around children, man. I still wouldn't. Allegedly, exactly. I still wouldn't. I would just reduce his role in the team, man. I would just make him not as important of a player. And I would just get someone above him so we don't have to rely on him as much. Because right now, we're really, really relying on him, man. And that's an issue if you can't rely on somebody who's always injured, man. Because the best thing about a player is availability, man. If he's not available, he's as useful as Loftus-Cheek, man. Which isn't very. And that's how I dig at Loftus-Cheek. If a player is not available, then he's not really useful, is he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I wouldn't sell him, but I wouldn't make him as important, man.
Talking of Loftus-Cheek, he's got to be the first one. Him and Barkley are the first 2 players you got to get.
I disagree.
Tell them both.
Why do you disagree, Marshall?
Keep Loftus-Cheek, bin off Barkley at the first available opportunity.
Thank you, Lewis.
Preach.
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek.
Lewis, the man of reason over here.
Let him leave.
He'll come good slowly.
Yeah, at a different club.
28 years old.
Good fee. Get a good fee and let him live.
No, he can still be a good squad player for us. He can still be really capable for us. Just send him on loan to another club. Just 2 years.
Alex Goldberg's gonna cry, man. The guy's gonna have a meltdown, man.
I don't even think he needs to go on loan again because I agree with Barkley. Barkley's completely dead to me. I don't agree with Loftus-Cheek because I've actually seen his games against Fulham, and he's carrying that team on his back, along with
that's good.
I think Anguissa's the other one. I think he's doing phenomenal, and I think that shut the fuck up, dude.
Respect my boy.
I think he's gonna be able to come back, and he's gonna come good. I think he'll perform for Chelsea, and he'll make a stay. He'll stay a claim.
Players for him to have a decent amount of game time, especially because we'll have the same question about players like Conor Gallagher, for example. I think Loftus-Cheek, definitely give him another loan deal. Let him go to another club, be one of the best players at that club too. Then come to Chelsea, and then he's ready.
Yeah.
That's why
it only benefits Chelsea. It only benefits Chelsea in reality.
You mentioned Gallagher. See, I
get a big fee for him either because of his injury record, he's a backup or something.
With Gallagher, he's sort of I like Gallagher as a player overall, but if we are kidding ourselves if we're saying he's ready to be in our squad next season. We are kidding us. Anyone is kidding themselves. I saw someone on
I'm waiting for a comment from Johnny, man. I'm looking at the chat.
A few people on Twitter were saying, if we're serious, let's get rid of Kovacic and get Gallagher in next year. That's a joke. Like,
Johnny calls him top draw. Is that what he calls him?
And Marshall, if he's playing so well, if he's playing so well at Fulham, that's good. So we get a good fee for him. That's the best thing about him.
No,
I love
the
guy. I think people are really taking into, and this is what Lewis was getting at before with like people remember moments, but they don't see the rest of the game. We all remember how bad and poor he was against Brighton in that first game we had, which I get, he was terrible, but give the guy some slack. He just came back from a terrible injury, and the reason he's even on loan is just to recover that confidence, get him some playtime because he needs playtime to get back to how he was. And I've been watching him. He didn't start Fulham as a starter in the beginning, but slowly but surely Scott Parker decided to introduce him, and now if you watch him play under Fulham, I argue that he is the reason Fulham is even doing anywhere near as good as he's doing. He's probably the reason why Fulham beat Liverpool and they tied against Liverpool, they tied against Leicester and all these other teams. Like, I think he is arguably the reason. He's their midfield. He's really good.
I have
a question though. Marshall, you're saying he's been very good for Fulham, but Fulham are 18, man. They're in relegation. It's like when
look at the rest of the team, man.
Our team, I'm like, yeah, it's mustard.
Charlie Austin was still quality for them. There's been quality players that have got relegated.
Yeah, exactly. So
look at Aston Villa last season too. They were almost relegated, and then they decided, okay, let's get some more quality players to play with Jack Grealish, and look at them now. They're like competing for Europa League spots and stuff.
But Ruben, I would love Ruben to be able to stay fit long term and to go back to his best, but I just don't see it happening. And okay, you're gonna say, but why do you want to keep Pulisic, but you'll get rid of Loftus-Cheek? I think Pulisic is a much more talented player. If we're being honest, and I'm not saying Ruben is not talented; he is very talented. But
popular opinion is flying back and forth in this.
Maybe that's just me rating Pulisic very highly. More than
No, I rate Pulisic very highly too. Will, I think he's very technical, and he's one of the best. If he is our best dribbler, man.
Yeah, but you know what with Ruben, right? I think he's just unlucky that Chelsea went to a charity game and ruined his career.
Yeah, but even without that, you can't say that, Alexis, right?
Friendly,
injuries even before that. He was injured.
No, but you know what? He came back from Crystal Palace. He broke into the team under Sarri, and he was looking like one of our best players. He was literally looking like one of our best players with Hazard on that left-hand side. They were carrying along those.
There was a link up.
He was a tank.
Hazard, Loftus-Cheek, and Emerson really.
I don't know. I don't know because it's not fair because we're gonna sell Pulisic because he's always injured, but we're gonna literally the king of injuries.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the thing is, I think Ruben will be happy to be a bench player.
Bandaged ass cheek, man. He's literally he's known for injuries, man. So if it's kind of hypocritical if we're gonna sell Pulisic and we're gonna keep this guy, even though this guy is injured, has like even a bigger record of injuries at Chelsea.
Before he got his injury, and they're not the same player, but he was powering through that midfield, and they're not the same. So don't everyone get on me. There was little vibes of how a Yaya Toure used to go in that midfield, or a Michael Essien used to power through that midfield.
Yeah,
just with more of a goal.
I get what you mean.
And he was adding goals to his game as well. He was adding goals.
And it's such a shame.
We hadn't had that for a number of years, a little bit. You know, that goal scoring midfielder, but. It's just frustrating, man. Because before that injury, you could see him in that midfield for years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and apart from that friendly as well, I thought Sarri managed him excellently. If I'm being honest,
he did. I have to give him credit.
Sarri's arguably one of the best managers we've had since Marina came in.
Yeah.
Well, does anyone want to comment on that report today?
Yeah, I made a video on it.
I shed a tear, man. I call him Uncle Sorry, man. This is how much I love him, man.
Oh, yeah, Uncle Sorry is the man.
Sarri's press conferences where he used to do tactical.
He put his glasses up. He's like my dad when he tries to read, man. Put his glasses up and
I'm missing guy. Tuchel could have that level of a lot of press conferences, but they ask him so many shit questions. it's a joke what they talk about.
He's intelligent, man. He literally like owns them every time they ask him a stupid question. Man.
Exactly. He says, "Are you in the wrong room?" That's what he says, doesn't he? He says, "Are you in the wrong press conference?" Oh, our media is just crap. Absolutely.
But you know what? Honestly, if Sarri came back, I don't go to many games, right? I only go cup games. I can't imagine what our home fans would be like.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
Lewis, you go to games, don't you? You would love it if Sarri went back, wouldn't you? You're a fan of Sarri, aren't you?
Personally, I'd love it because I'd just be drinking tears the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be hilarious. But the fan base would love it. You get Sarri ball from the dot. So I said I'm so grateful that we're in lockdown this season because we'd be 3-0 down to Manchester City. We'd be hearing we've got Super Frankie Lampard coming off the touchlines. I'd be like,
bro,
just allow
that
it.
That moment we won the Europa League under Sarri and we spanked Arsenal, man. One of my closest friends is an Arsenal fan. I literally made the guy cry, man. It's one of the happiest. Like when I saw that kid crying on the screen. You remember that kid who was crying on the screen in Baku, man? I was looking at that kid. I was flipping out, man. That's how happy I was.
Hearing when the kid crying came up on the
screen. Yeah. It was like my TV shit. I'm like, you're gonna grow up and see a lot of this.
Why do it's weird because everyone, all the Lampard sections, as we call them, they were saying that Sarri's football is boring. How do you watch Sarri and you think it's boring? I don't understand.
But I told you that's a cultural thing.
They hate Tuchel for the exact
same. He would be perfect for this team as well. He would be perfect for this team, Sarri.
Tuchel and Sarri.
Tuchel, because I like. You can say I'm a Tuchel sexual, man, because I love that guy since he was in Germany, man. The way he transferred Dortmund, man, and he just brought like players and. The guy is perfect for Chelsea for where we are right now, and I'm glad we got him, man, because he was my first choice.
Look what he did at Mainz as well. People just look at what he did at PSG. If you look at what he did at Mainz and Dortmund, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's a good coach, man.
Let's look to wrapping up, but I want to get Alexis and Lewis' views on just in case we don't speak to them before that. What do you think is going to happen on Sunday against United, Alexis?
Oh, yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I think we'll dominate possession. I'm not saying we're going to beat them because it's Ollie. And Ollie's got a funny way of ruining my weekends. Yeah. He's done it too many times. I think it'll be a good game. We're a stronger team at the moment on current form. I don't know why he played his best team tonight. They're 4-0 up.
Yeah, and Rashford came on.
So, like, it doesn't make sense. I think I'll be happy with a win, like definitely, but I'll take a draw right now.
Would you? You know why I wouldn't? You know why I wouldn't take a draw, Alexis? Because West Ham are playing Man City, man. And if we beat United and we go to that fourth, basically it's ours, man. Because nobody can leap above us, even if they win their games in hand.
Especially if I run a fixtures.
Watch West Ham.
Lewis, man. Predictions for Sunday?
Anthony Marshall, Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno. Welcome to the AC Penitentiary. There's plenty of Chelsea. You already know someone off the back post, but Chelsea will get this one. We're going in there with a lot of confidence. It's time to start showing it against the big teams.
AC Penitentiary.
This is the first time I've had an opportunity to talk to Lewis, right? Since Christensen's been in. How arrogant have you been on live streams since that? Like since you've been anyway? Because I'm telling you now, I've been
making stuff like this the whole time. The propaganda is going glorious. I've had missing photos of Luis Suarez going around all over Twitter. I've been enjoying this. I'm milking it. It's about
giving away flyers, man.
I've seen Christensen slander for the longest, and it's been understood. So you know what? It's time to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You and Darkest Times are like the two happiest people about Christensen, man.
You know what? You got to learn.
Your cards out, guy.
Everyone's got to learn. Everyone's got to learn. If we diss them when they deserve it, you praise them when they deserve it.
Never gets praised.
As a player, Alonso just pisses me off. But the last 5-6 game, I'll give him his props. He's been excellent. Cool.
Yeah.
Rudiger as well. I've said for the last year and a half, I don't rate Rudiger, and I think he's our worst centre back. Excellent last 5 or 6 games. He's been brilliant. Give him the props where he deserves. So many players, even Kepa.
Yeah,
Kepa's kept a clean sheet. Fair play.
True.
Like, it's bottom tier, but we move. First time in ages. Yeah, I'm happy.
And we'll do the same for you extreme Tammy tuckers out there as well, okay? when he scores when he bags a hat trick. We'll praise him as well.
Oh my gosh!
And you extreme Mount debaters, we do praise Mount. So
I have to watch what I say about Mount. I can't say I prefer.
Oh no, we don't. We've had that. We've had so much Mount debate today, man. It's ridiculous. Okay, so that is our first episode on Popular Opinions. We will do a show tomorrow on Popular Opinions, but we'll have We'll have a call-in one for that. So you give your unpopular opinion.
Give us your opinion. Yeah.
We'll discuss that, everything like that. So we'll do that tomorrow. We'll post up that. Lewis, man, shout out your socials. What are you doing?
Yeah, Carefree Lewis G on YouTube, on Twitter as well. Check out Blues Fans TV if you haven't done it already. And yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Love to jump on. It was a great chat.
Anytime, man. Alexis, man, shout out your socials.
You guys already know. Alexis at the Kafka's View. Big video on Sorry coming out tomorrow. So if you want some Sorry propaganda, go and watch it tomorrow out at noon.
Uncle Sorry, man.
We're all going to be crying.
Just this comment. Maguire would kill him with a diving headbutt. But there we go. Yeah. Marshall, socials.
Yeah, if you guys want to see more content by me, you can find me on Twitch under MarshallDBDX. Same thing with YouTube soon. And if you want to check out my music, any platform that you prefer, Back Pocket Alimony, we're available on Instagram, all that stuff, Spotify, Apple Music. And do yourself a favor. Make sure you watch Fulham play. Keep a close eye at RLC. I'm telling you, he's gonna make a comeback.
Extreme
butt watch. Extreme butt watch.
The reason you don't like him is because he's more hench than you, right?
That's right. No. Will, socials, mate.
And he's not. I'm shredded, bro.
Will, you can find me at Will_CFC_ and follow the KH No Filter Twitter account as well.
Kai doesn't want you to follow him.
To people who message Will and think it's me, it's not me, it's Will. So be nice to Will, man. Will is a nice guy, man.
Kai, I know you don't like people following you on anything. Do you want to announce anything or?
No. Just leave me alone. Don't follow my Instagram if I don't know you. I'm most likely rejected, so don't do it.
Okay, so I would just like to say before I say that we are close to breaking 1,000 subscribers, and we thank you all for doing that.
Appreciate your support,
we thank you all for joining us in the chat. You've been amazing, and liking the video. I'm on Twitter as the Winter Surfer. You can try and bait me. I won't. I don't mind. I'll have all banter. Just throw it at me. I'm fine. I've been called worse by better. But you're all good. But
called worse by better. I love that one, man.
Like I said, it's the first episode of Unpopular Opinions. Thank you very much. Kai, take us out with your famous saying, please.
Yeah. Drink your vitamins, eat your food, and don't do drugs, man. See you guys later. Take care.
Brother. See ya.